Welcome everyone, I'm Dale and this is Cinema Historia, a chemistry student, an invisibility experiment, and a recently released criminal. This week we're going back to 1972 for a science fiction comedy film called Now You See Him, Now You Don't, starring Kurt Russell, Cesar Romero, Joe Flynn, and Jim Backus. And this is directed by Robert Butler. So where does our story begin this week? Well, our story begins at Medfield College with science enthusiast and student Dexter Riley, played by Kurt Russell. Dexter and his friends, Richard Schuyler and Debbie Dawson, planted a walkie-talkie in the dean's office to secretly listen to a board meeting. Dean Higgins, played by Joe Flynn, discusses with science professor Lufkin and other colleagues the college's precarious finances. Their only hope is to get entered into the annual science contest and win the Forsyth Award, an award that pays $50,000 for first prize. After the gang rescues their walkie-talkie before being discovered, Professor Lufkin shows Higgins the science lab. There, Dexter is conducting an invisibility experiment following the theory conducted by 18th century Russian scientist Versakov, and much to Higgins' disappointment. That night, a massive thunderstorm strikes the science lab, damaging Dexter's equipment. The next day, Dexter discovers that his experimental formula has rendered part of his glasses invisible, showing Schuyler and Debbie that the substance causes temporary invisibility and can be rinsed off with water. Next, Higgins introduces a surprise visitor, A.J. Arno, played by Cesar Romero, a recently released criminal who took over the mortgage on the college. Suspicious of Arno's true intentions, Dexter and Schuyler use the invisibility formula one night to sneak into his office. There they find documents that state the law of 1912 permitting gambling on the Medfield property is still in effect, and that Arno plans to turn Medfield into a gambling town. Dexter shows their findings to Lufkin and Higgins and proposes entering the upcoming Forsyth contest using his invisibility formula to win the prize money. To get reinstated into the contest, Higgins meets contest sponsor Tim Forsyth, played by Jim Backus, at Thunder Ridge for golf. Helping out a frustrated Higgins, Dexter hides with invisibility, manipulates Higgins' shots for hole-in-ones, in turn winning the game and re-entering midfield into the contest. So, does a chauffeur disguised as a janitor steal the formula? Does an invisible bank robbery render an enormous heist? Or is the chase on for Dexter and his friends to bring justice and the formula back in their hands and save the college? Released July 12, 1972, it is the second film in the Dexter Riley series, following 1969's The Computer Wore Tennis Shoes, and in 1975, The Strongest Man in the World. And I saw all these at the show back then. Yes, it's Kurt Russell's first sequel. Some of the Medfield College exterior scenes were filmed in the Walt Disney Studios courtyard, using the old animation building on the corner of Mickey Avenue and Dopey Drive. The airplane used in the movie is in fact the airplane owned by Disney, used in traveling back and forth to Florida to purchase what is now Walt Disney World. With an 80% rating from the film critic Rotten Tomatoes, charming family fun, and Kurt Russell is Out of Sight. And that he is, and I did 2 other Disney films recently on my channel. Please click the links for The Apple Dumpling Gang in 1975 and Old Yeller from 1957. And our trivia question this week: was someone in our film the father of one of the stars of our film? Was someone in our film the father of one of the stars of our film? So a little more history and the answer to our trivia question right after this. The green VW that Richard Schuyler, played by Michael McGreevy, drives were 2 repurposed Volkswagen Beetle cars from Disney's first Herbie movie, The Love Bug, from 1968. So for history this week, I found a mid-60s Beetle. So here's Lenny to tell you about his pride and joy.
Good morning, Dale. This is my 1966 Volkswagen Beetle. If you look in the front here, there's a spare tire and a windshield washer container with a little air nipple on it. You put pressure in there so it'll have pressure for the squirter. The earlier models came off of the little nipple on the tire to provide pressure for the windshield squirters.
And this is the gas tank as well, correct?
This is the gas tank right behind the tire. And they used to have a heater right in front of the firewall there. It was a gas heater and it had a spark plug in it. And the heat would come out of the dash. And those are kind of rare. Not too many other people have those nowadays.
Okay. You want to tell me about the interior?
Sure. The interior looks pretty old and classic for that era. It has a little glove box. I don't know what you call them.
And the mileage
little pouches on there. Yeah, the mileage, it's 97,000. And that's original. And they have a unique horn too that everybody knows, the Volkswagen horn. So,
is that the original radio in the car?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And the transmission, it's a 4-speed stick?
4-speed, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And is it reupholstered seats?
Yes, they are. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But in the era and the type of what they had back then.
Okay.
Yeah. On the roof here, you have a roof rack. Quite a few cars, when they had families and that, they'd put all their tent and stuff, sleeping bags up there.
And surfboards.
And surfboards, yeah.
Which model is this car? Were there different models?
No, it's just called a Beetle. They call it a Type 1.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. You want to go around and show me the engine?
Sure.
Okay.
This used to have a 1300 cc engine, but that died, so we put a 1600 in, which has a lot more horsepower. The 13 had 35 horsepower. The 16 has about 55 horsepower, which means that you don't have to push it up a hill when you got a lot of passengers. Whereas I've heard stories where people would have to get out of the back seat to get up a hill because the 35 horse didn't have enough power to pull 4 grown men up a hill.
And this one has how much horsepower then?
About 55.
About 55, okay.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Wow.
And dual exhaust.
Yes,
in
I
chrome.
see that. I
Yes.
see that. And backup lights. And you said this used to be a clown car, is that correct?
Yes, the lady that owned it, she was a professional clown. And I won't say her name. But,
No, that's okay.
Anyway, she went to all sorts of parties for kids and also car shows and fairs, and she face painted the kids. And
That's a lot of fun.
yeah.
Wow.
She put her name on the door.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for showing me your car today, Lenny.
Okay, thank you.
That filming was a whole lot of fun. And the answer to our trivia question this week: was someone in our film the father of one of the stars of our film? Yes. Bing Russell, Kurt Russell's father, plays Alfred, one of A.J. Arnold's thugs in our film. Bing Russell was an American actor, a Class A minor league baseball club owner, and grandfather of ex-Major League Baseball player Matt Franco and actor Wyatt Russell. When Lou Gehrig was weakened by illness, he gave Russell the bat he used to hit his last home run before retiring. An actor of credited and uncredited roles in both film and television, his career spanned from 1951 to 1990. And in 1974, the Sporting News named Russell Minor League Executive of the Year. Pretty cool. And one last note, Kurt Russell's character, Dexter Riley, drives a Myers-Mannix-style dune buggy in our film. While it may not be an original Myers-Mannix, it's definitely styled after the iconic fiberglass-bodied buggy created by Bruce Myers in the 1960s. These types of dune buggies were typically built on shortened Volkswagen Beetle chassis and became widely popular in movies and beach culture throughout the late 60s and early 70s. A big thank you goes out to Lenny for allowing me to film his car, and to all my viewers and subscribers, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.